Hi guys, it's Miko Martinez, and in this video, I want to quickly talk about keyword cannibalization, specifically for e-commerce brands and Shopify stores. I'm going to go over how it happens, why it's a problem, uh, how to identify it, and what you can do to solve or fix this problem, right? So, if you don't know what keyword cannibalization is, it's something that occurs when multiple pages on your site or your store compete for the same keyword. What happens is this confuses search engines and hinders your site's ability to rank effectively. And these are three ways it happens usually. Number one, overlapping targets. So when that happens when both product and collection pages target the same keyword, or even multiple collection pages target the same keyword and try to rank for the same keyword. Another way it can happen is content redundancy. That happens when blog posts target keywords that are already targeted by collection pages. And the last way is, not as common, but can happen when you overuse keywords. When you use the same keyword across numerous pages, and yeah, that kind of just helps confuse that kind of confuses the search engine as well. And as I mentioned earlier, this leads to internal competition, confusing the search engines about which page to rank. Because the way the search engines work and the way to think about things is for every search term or query, it comes up with a question. And with that question, it looks for the answer on your site, your website. And that's typically in the form of a page on your site, right? And if you have multiple pages or multiple answers for one question, the search engine actually gets confused as to which page is the actual answer to that question. And what happens is it actually just doesn't rank any of these pages, or it keeps moving the rankings between these pages because it's just confused, right? So the correct approach is actually to have one page per topic, not multiple pages. If you have one page that can rank for multiple keywords, that is what's what makes the most sense, right? So here's an example of keyword cannibalization on a site called Blackbrook Case. They sell leather iPhone cases, and you can see over the past 2 years for the search term leather iPhone 12 case, they've had 7 different pages ranking for that search term. And even just in the last month, they've had 4 different pages ranking for that search term, right? And you can see why that's a problem because, again, look, you can see the search engine's confused as to which page to rank or use as an answer to that query, right? So if we look at each of these pages, these are all collection pages, by the way, and they're all competing for this search terms, leather iPhone 12 case. And you can kind of see and understand why each of these pages are competing for that page. Well, you can see that the H1, the URL, and title all kind of contain these the search term, right? Here it's leather iPhone 12 series cases. Here it's leather iPhone 12 and 12 Pro cases. Here it's the Pro Max cases. So you can kind of understand why the search engine's confused and ranking these 4 different pages for this target search term. Okay, and that's basically what keyword cannibalization looks like on an e-commerce site. So what can you do to fix or solve this problem? So there's usually 3 solutions. The first one is page removal and 301 redirection. And again, depending on the situation, you might have a different solution or different fix, right? So one of the fixes is page removal and 301 redirection. If you identify that on your site that you have several pages ranking for the same search term or even several search terms, and if you identify that you can actually rank for all those search terms with one page, then ideally you remove the unnecessary pages and 301 redirect those URLs to the main page that you think can answer all those queries anyway. Another way is canonical tags, right? Like if you look at these pages and you think like, okay, maybe I can rank for 12 Pro and Pro Max, 12 Pro Max cases with this main leather iPhone 12 case page, maybe it's a wise choice to put a canonical tag on these 2 pages pointing towards this one, because this signals to the search engine like, okay, don't rank these 2, just rank this instead, and maybe have internal links pointing from this main collection page to these sub collection pages. Because again, these 2 seem to be sub collections of this one, right? If you look at the pages, you can see why they compete for the same queries, right? They're pretty much the same. The H1, the URL, and the title tag are very similar. If you look at the product grids, they're pretty much the same products, and that's all the content on the page, right? You can see why these are competing for the same search terms, right? Those are two ways you can solve keyword cannibalization. And the last one is page de-optimization or optimization. If you determine that you really do need a separate page for Pro Max and a separate page for just the 12 Pro, then that means that you need to optimize these pages for these specific queries, right? How could you do that? You can add more unique content on the page. Maybe you add a short description up here, specifically for 12 Pro, and here specifically for 12 Pro Max, and a longer description at the bottom. Like, there are longer descriptions here, but I think these longer descriptions are too similar. They're too similar that the search engine still gets confused, right? And again, I'm not saying that's the solution for this specific case. You'd have to do a little bit of keyword research, check the search volumes for these specific queries to determine whether they are actually even needed. But yeah, these are the three solutions you can use to solve keyword cannibalization. I hope this was helpful. That's it for now. Thanks for listening.